Yo, so I've actually never done this before, but it was a nice stint, and I was thinking about it quite a lot during the stint, so we're gonna do a little debrief on this S1K first stint from P31 to P5. It was actually P4, but we didn't overtake for P4 as a box. So right off the bat, T1, I saw some smoke ahead, so I backed off the brakes quite early, then took the inside line, ended up on the grass to try and hook up the corner a little bit better, and then outside of T2 to clear some of the cars on the inside. We made 7 or 8 positions. Could have made another one here, but I think I had a misshift. Yeah, misshift. We had replaced the selector from the previous day, so it was a bit more stiff, and I wasn't holding the clutch for long enough, so that's on me. Now seeing a gap on the outside, so trying to take advantage of it, but end up behind this yellow car. And yeah, this guy was quite slow. It was a little bit difficult to find a gap when he was in front, because he was a little bit under the limit here. And I think we could have got around the inside of the guy on the right. And here he hits the brakes, and we end up panicking a bit. Could have been a little bit dangerous. Anyways, international finger. Sorry about that. I was very tensed up. Early braking just to let things unfold. See some people drifting out to the outside, so we take the inside line. This guy's coming across a little bit quick, so have to take evasive action. We're not in the tow, but it ends up becoming the tow. Now the right side here is has just been oiled up from the previous session. Pause. But we ended up taking the space on the outside, diving to the outside, passing 2 cars at the inside, trying to get another one here. Bit of a bottleneck, too wide, and both cars were going quite slow. Well, didn't commit very hard, but still got to the apex. End up on the outside going into T12 with the tow here. Good shift, so we are more or less ahead, and no drama doing that move. So very solid. I believe at this point it was P18 or 19, but I'm not sure. I wasn't counting. But yeah, anyways, we move on to a cut. Same fight. This is literally like 2 corners later. Dive around the outside as they're fighting each other, and then this guy is on the good line, so gets a shorter distance, ends up back in front, but he misses the second corner. Plan the throttle, good shift to third, and it is quite close to the straight, so I'm trying to get the side draft. My engine temp is also pretty cold, and here most people are upshifting to 5th gear, but we actually stay in 4th gear to protect the gearbox. A little bit of contact as I try to squeeze in the inside, but yeah, we're in touring cars, this is racing, and I was a bit confused by what he was trying to do, but now he's closing me into the inside of T5. But I don't really think he can defend much against this. Just get the good shift, place a tire on the curb, and yeah, he has to concede that position. He can't do much about it. Now we come up to this guy. I'm not exactly sure what position this is either, but he had a pretty poor run out of 11, so we take the inside of 12, just showed the nose. I wasn't actually planning to do the move, but he gave the space to take the curb, and then here he did try to maintain position, but I outbraked just enough so that I was able to make the apex without having to leave him room and get a good exit to chase on to the car ahead. A few corners later, they have a bit of a bottleneck because they were fighting in the previous corner, and I take this inside line. He tries to defend it for a split second, but I think he realizes that I'm coming quite quick. We're also not in the same category, so there's not really a point to fight that. Then a couple corners after that, this guy's struggling with some oversteer through 5, and then into 6, trying to stay as flat as possible, and then place my nose here to take the inside of 7-8, and job done. No dramas there. I believe now we are P12, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, I think my teammate lets me by here. Yep, he definitely let me by. This is very nice of him. Just leaving me the room. Not the same category either, so we weren't in the fight. Give the slightly nicer international finger to him, and then a couple corners later there's a nice fight going on ahead, and practically licking my lips at this point because I get to enter from the racing line, so we take the entry curb. This guy misses the apex lane. He's watching the cars ahead, but anyways, we take the perfect line. See a car on the left, car on the right, decide to throw it up the middle. Good shift. Car on the right was also in the slower category, so we were able to take that quite easily, and the car on the left had to back out. And then we actually turned it into a nice little quadruple overtake because this guy had a pretty poor run out of the right-hander. And yeah, I believe this is P8 then now? Yeah, it should be P8. Now we're in the fight with P7. He's got quite a quick engine, so as you see here, he does mess up the corner. And we have a run, and then we lose the run. But I needed to get ahead of him because I could not get ahead of him after any of the long straights, and luckily he waved me by. So I gave him a bit of thanks in between these two corners, and then set my sights on the guys ahead. And didn't take too many laps. I think it was about 2 laps later that we were able to catch 611 and a little bit of track limits there. But it was an easy move, it seemed like, and seemed to like doing the move in this corner because it's not too much drama. You can't really defend from it, especially in these cars. And yeah, 999 just ahead. He ends up missing 7 and 8, tripping up on the exit curb. So I try to take the good line, end up in the toe. Looks like I can do dive, but he just got a bit more power, and end up losing my run. So I do the fake dive anyways because I think he was definitely nervous about it after missing 7, 8. Braked as late as possible. He definitely overbraked, braked a bit too late, and then here he does have the shorter line, which makes it slightly difficult to stay alongside. So I can see the position into T11, but he does miss the apex. So I'm able to get close, but again, you can't really do anything from this distance in this corner. He starts to pull away, but he does have a small snap at the exit at 12. I try to send it up the inside of 14, but he brakes quite late. He really doesn't want to concede this position. He comes towards the apex quite late. I'm at the apex already. Small bit of contact, so I decided to let him have the straight. Sorry about the mirror, bro, but yeah, this is racing. I don't know why he wanted to fight this quite hard because I did have more pace, but anyways, he can do whatever he wants. We get a nice run down the straight, and I knew he was going to do this just because of how he was driving the previous corners, but he overshot. We take the last corner and move up into P5. Anyways, thanks for watching. Ciao, ciao.